Thank you, Richard. Nice to see you. Welcome. So we'll work on that Zoom thing.
It's working.
It's working? Okay, we're good. We're good. Yay. So welcome, year 2024, and the themes for September are time, space, and illusion of matter. I can make a bad joke. I'm not going to. All right, and today we're going to do our meditation. And for those of you that are newcomers, what happens is we have a little music by LaLonde, which is great, and it works essentially. We close our eyes, and then we go into silence for just a short period of time. So, okay, John, thanks.
Good morning, everyone. Nice to see everyone.
And as we sit in this space, in this place, in this time, let there be peace in our hearts that fill us, and let there be enjoyment, and let there be all those things that we want to let go of. We let go of right here, right now, and embrace our hearts. And we know that this is a great place to do that. This is a safe place to do that. And so it is. Welcome, Barney. Come on in. Really nice. keep going when I hear the flute. I just like keeping that space and time. So our musician today is John LaLonde, and our spiritual thought's coming up. Somebody's used a lot of energy and sparkle. Reverend L.J. Ball, or Luana.
High shoes on.
Oh, good.
High shoes so I can hug you.
Give yourself. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Oh, Reverend Bob, what a wonderful, wonderful seminar yesterday. More workshopy, well, play shoppy, whatever we want to call it. It was really appreciated. So our themes, we have time and space and illusion of matter. For me, the world as it is and as it sits right now came from a bunch of ideas from a bunch of us, and also from the ideas of Source. So if we pull it back, it comes from the ideas of Source. We come from the ideas of Source. And so we have time and timelessness. What is in back of, in the beginning, before the beginning. Some of the quotes that Bob shared, one of them had reference to before the beginning. I love that. For me, I have been on the hunt, as we are. If you're in this community, you're on a spiritual journey, and you're aware of it. We're all on a spiritual journey, whether we're aware of it or not, but we're aware of it. And I love that. I love what life is bringing us. And I love the paradox, the timelessness, and we live in time and space. What a paradox. So for me, the paradox becomes the big and. I like calling it the big and. Every time a paradox shows itself to me and I'm in awe, I call it the big and. And so lately there's been a lot of paradoxical things going on beyond time and space, and yet here we are grounded in this life, in our doings, in our beings. And I just feel the call that more is being revealed. You know, more is being shown to us. Our awareness is expanding. And when we become aware of something new, can we let go of the old that no longer serves? We can park it someplace. We can put it on a shelf. We can see if it collects dust, or if we need to pull it back off later. But can we let the new have its space for its own evolution, for its own expansion in our lives? New thought community. I love that it's new thought and ancient wisdom. Again, the big and. There were many quotes, and they were all wonderful, and we got to discuss them yesterday at Bob's seminar. And one of them, I thought, I could live with this for at least a month. So I'm going to share it with you. Say then, from the heart, that you are the perfect day. And in you dwells the light that does not fail. The gospel of truth. Namaste.
Sounded like there's a lot of great things that happened yesterday.
Yeah,
Sorry I missed it. Wasn't able to be here. That was lovely. So I think we're going to have some nice music now. It's John LaLonde, so let's welcome John.
Thank you, Kim. Thank you, LJ. That was a wonderful seminar yesterday. So many nice things. It concluded for me with just feeling really grateful that this is a place we can come in ceremony, in worship, in self-reflection, and we can figure it out for ourselves. There's no one shoving anything in anything that's open. I'm going to use a backing track like I've used some other times. This is a backing track by Kalani Das, and it is made specifically to be for Native American style flutes to play along with it. It doesn't sound like a typical typical sort of native song, but it is really fun, and I hope you enjoy it. It's called Descending, and it's by Kalani Das. Warming up, Barney.
fun playing it?
I had a lot of fun playing it. That's why I played it. It was a lot of fun.
That's what it's all about, having a lot of fun. That was great, thank you. So, oh, is this right? Look who's coming up here. Reverend Bob Hand, who already told me he had nothing to announce today, but he's the speaker.
Thank you, Kim.
You're welcome.
And for the seminar yesterday, I do want to thank all of you who attended. I think Patrick mentioned he saw that it was going to be 3 hours and said, "Can Bob really talk for 3 hours?" Yes, I can. But as I mentioned, if I did, everybody would be bored with it. It's the interaction of these things that make it meaningful. And so I think all of you came and shared your thoughts. I want to mention what LJ just said about ancient wisdom and new thought. And, you know, there is a lot of it based on that. Patrick and I were discussing this one time. The problem is, though, if you have a belief system called old thought, it just doesn't sound real appealing. So we're going to have to stick with new thought, even if it's often based on ancient ideas. For those of you who listen to NPR, National Public Radio, you know that every week they have Science Friday. Today we are going to have Science Sunday. I'm assuming you've all brought your notepads. It'll be simple differential calculus, so you won't have to worry a lot about it. No, we're going to talk about it in simple terms. And I'm speaking of this today because Sandy comes up with our themes, and two of the themes are space and time. And I always just pick one theme because I can barely figure out one thing. But in relativity theory, general relativity theory by Albert Einstein, space and time are not two things. They're one thing, space-time. And this is a revolutionary idea. When Albert Einstein came up with this, he didn't even believe it. The mathematics showed it. He also didn't believe it. But extensive research has shown that it's true. Space is just another dimension. You know, we have our 3 dimensions, up and down, back and forth, forward and back, and we say we're in a 3-dimensional world. But relativity theory says we're in a 4-dimensional world. The other dimension is time. It's intricately part of that and cannot be separated from it. The other thing that relativity shows, relativity theory on space and time, is that they're not set. For thousands of years, the idea is time just goes by at the same pace. Space is just there. It's always been there. It's always going to be there, just like it is. And relativity theory proves that that is not true. Space and time expand, shrink, bend. Again, when this was first a part of the theory, relativity theory, some of the best scientists in the world said that's absolute nonsense. It can't be. And then they did an experiment that had to do with looking at a star that was behind the sun during an eclipse. And even though the star was behind it, you could still see it because gravity bent the space around the sun so you could see the star. One of the first proofs that that's true. So it's true for us all of the time that space and time change. So if John and Joyce decide to hike to the top of Mount Whitney, John's doctor said with his ankle he can do anything now, right? And Jean and I decide to go down to the coast right at sea level. Space and time will be slightly different for us than they would be for John and Joyce. Not enough that any of us would know it, but enough that the precise scientific apparatus could actually measure that difference. Time would go slower for us than it would for them. Now, what does that mean to us? This, to me, relates directly to our belief system. And that's what I'm really talking about. New thought belief system, or old thought belief system. And how does this relate to it? Well, one of our main principles, and what I like to look at is different principles of our belief system. One of those principles is oneness, right? We're all one. We used to pretty much every Sunday sing, "We are one." We talk about the oneness of all things. But for, again, thousands of years, at the very basic of the universe, we thought there was duality. We thought there was time and there was space. Two fundamentally different things. And yet relativity has showed us that's not true. There is space-time. That's the reality. We can talk about them separately, but there's only one thing in the fundamental creation of the universe. Relativity theory also tells us the most famous formula in the world, E equals mc squared. Energy equals mass times the speed of light squared. And again, that tells us about oneness, because in math, equals means exactly the same. When we say 1 plus 1 equals 2, we're not saying 1 plus 1 is kind of like 2, or it's pretty close to 2. We're saying 1 plus 1 is 2. Maybe in a different way, but it is exactly the same thing. So when relativity theory says energy equals mass times the speed of light squared, it's saying energy and mass are the same thing. They're not similar, they're not like each other. Equals means they are the same thing. So again, relativity theory has shown us that what was always thought to be a duality, energy and mass, is actually one thing only. And so relativity theory has a lot of aspects to us that show us oneness. Another part of our belief system is that the universe isn't set, right? Because we say we can manifest things. We can make things occur in this universe. It's not just all set. And relativity theory shows us the same thing. As I said, space and time can either shrink, expand, or even bend. They are not set foundations, but rather flexible aspects of the universe. And a part of that flexibility, our belief system says we affect the universe, right? We say that our thoughts affect the universe. Now, relativity theory doesn't tell us that our thoughts affect the universe, but they do tell us that our decisions affect the universe. So as I said, I can make a decision. I can go to the Dead Sea, on the border between Jordan and Israel, the lowest place on land in the world. Or I can get in a jet plane and fly maybe 3 miles up. That conscious decision I make will change the world I live in. Because at the Dead Sea, time and distance, time will slow down, distance will shrink, or will expand. Up in the air, time will go faster and the distance will shrink. Not enough that I'm going to know, not enough that we could affect it, but enough to be real. If I had a precise atomic clock, and they've done this, they show the difference. 2 atomic clocks, exactly the same. You fly one up in a plane and bring them back, they're no longer showing the same time. Time changes, space changes, and we can make it change based on the conscious decisions we make. And only for us, though. If I go fly in that plane and Jean stays right here, I'm not changing time and space for her, only for me. Our conscious decisions change the world that we individually live in. And another aspect of New Thought, one we don't really talk about a lot, but is the difference between New Thought and many religions. In New Thought, there isn't a great God, some giant man or woman who has the personality of a person and who makes decisions based on that God's particular likes and dislikes. We don't believe in a God that if we get down and prostrate ourselves and beg and promise we'll be good, that we're going to get that God to decide what we want. We believe in divine law. Yes, there is divine spirit, but the reality runs by divine law, and that's what relativity theory says, obviously. Not a God deciding whether space shrinks or expands, whether time shrinks or expands, but rather laws of physics. And if we believe in oneness, the divine laws and the physical laws must go together. So in New Thought, there is not a God who likes some people and dislikes others. There's not a God who says, well, if you study and become ordained, then you can contact me, but otherwise you can't. Although for a price I can give you a direct phone number for God. I do want to say that. We don't have that kind of beliefs about this God who's up there liking some things and not liking and making these random decisions. We believe in divine laws. And New Thought, or relativity theory, has that same concept. Now, what does all of that mean to us? Great. Relativity theory shows us that the principles of New Thought, many of them, are correct. And here's why I think this is important. And I'm going to shock some of you, I'm sorry. But you need to face up to this. You're going to have a bad day. I'm telling you. You're going to have a bad day. You're going to have a bad week. You might have bad months. There's going to be times when the only news you get is bad news. And you're going to think every single thing goes wrong. And in those times, you're going to want to turn to your belief system. You're going to want to do those treatments, and you're going to want to ask ministers, practitioners to do treatments. And it's not always going to change things right away. And it's going to be very easy to let doubt come in. Wow, things just are going bad, and we've been doing this treatment, and I've been asking for prayer. Maybe New Thought isn't really real. Maybe it doesn't work. And those are the times when you need a strong spiritual foundation. And you've all heard me talk about that before. If your spiritual ideas are just kind of floating out there and things go wrong, they're going to fall apart on You need a good spiritual foundation to hold it in place. There's that Bob Dylan song about, may you have a strong foundation when the winds blow hard. One of those foundations can be, you each have to decide what's your foundation. One of them can be that the most successful scientific theory ever developed by a man that many people think was the greatest genius ever, Albert Einstein. That scientific theory supports a good part of the principles of New Thought. So when things are going bad, if you need a foundation, there's one you can have. And to me, what's really critical about us making that strong spiritual foundation is because we're all one. And if all of us make our spiritual foundation strong, then we are also making a spiritual foundation for the rest of the world stronger. Every time we improve our spiritual foundation, we strengthen the spiritual foundation of the world. And in this way, the PLC makes the world a better place. Thank you.
I would say amen to that. I say amen to that for sure.
Yes.
Thank you, Bob. That was wonderful. Lots of great stuff from our speakers today. All right, we've come to the offertory portion of the morning, and I'd like to ask for two people who would like to get up and volunteer to take these lovely, light-weighted, beautifully green velvet
Offertory. And first we'll do a little prayer. Thank you. Thank you for coming forward. So we'll do a little prayer and then you can head out and then do it.
Okay, divine
love flowing through me, blesses and increases all that I give and all that I receive.
Yay. Now, those on Zoom, you probably have a way to tithe, and you can go into the iFocus. I don't know who's on there today. You probably heard this before, but you can either do it that way. There's a green button that you can press that you get in your email, and it has easy instructions on how to donate. And also the Positive Living Center, you can send a check to P.O. Box 2683, Oakhurst, California. You can get that from anybody after the service. And then, so that's wonderful. Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, now we're at the announcement portion. And so I'm going to do the first announcement because then I can get that over with and out of the way. On the 14th, which is next Saturday, or this Saturday coming up, we have the flute circle at 1:30 for beginners and then 2 o'clock for all levels. And that will go till about 3:30. And you don't have to have a flute. You can come and just listen if you like. But if you need a flute, we have some that we can let you use. And it's a lot of fun. It's great to make music. It's sort of another place where we feel a sense of oneness with each other and joy. It's just a lot of fun. So I hope we see you there. And then I don't know if Judy, you want me to go ahead? And then after that, Judy DeRosa, Reverend Judy DeRosa, who's sitting in the front there, she has the drum circle, which is also a great experience. So it's back-to-back music. And there's a big drum, there's rattles, you don't have to have a drum, you don't have to make music if you don't want to, but it's hard not to when you're around everybody. So that happens at about 4 till about 5:30-ish. Yeah, so that goes around, and it sets up at about 3:30. So we have a lot going on here, and I think these walls are infused with with different things, like different music and poetry and seminars, and you know what? It's just there's a lot of things rocking here. How you like it? So that's happening this Saturday coming up. Now, anybody else have any other announcements? Yay, Joe Bull!
Good morning. This Wednesday night here at the Sanctuary Men's Group, all guys are invited. And bring your friend with you too if you like, okay? We have some great discussions. So I'll see you Wednesday night here. Thank you.
Anybody else have an announcement they'd like to make? Okay, Elgin.
Chanting is over. I wanted to see that.
Oh,
no.
I really enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun.
We did have 8 weeks of
Yes,
wonderful
it was great.
chanting. And so what I'm going to ask is, who would like to be part of Chanters Unite? Perfect. Then see me afterwards. We'll see what we can pull together, because it'd be really nice when we do our 22nd of the month labyrinth experience if the chanters had a moment of chanting during that. So see me afterwards. Additionally, this is the time of year when we will usually have a class. And so classes are normally 6 weeks for 1 unit. And they can be 12 weeks if we do 2 units. And of course, weather gets in the way about January to February, so we get flexible, very flexible about it. But I've been on the fence about what kind of class to have. Joe's been talking about, is there something foundational, that we could go ahead and have, like for Foundations of Science of Mind. And then there's Marshall B. Rosenberg and his nonviolent communication. That can be powerful to spend time with each other on a topic like that. And then there's the 4 agreements, the 5th agreement, and the 5 levels of attachment. And I find that to be amazing. So this morning I was going, I wonder what we're going to do. I wonder what we're going to do. Trust. And then Joe and I got in discussion, and he says, people can get fanatical. We can have fanship for our teams and all of that, and then we can go overboard. And that's one of the levels of attachment. And it's not a condemnation on any of us. It's a statement about what can happen when our attachments get really attached. And so I thought, okay, I think that's the one. 4 agreements, the 5th agreement, and the 5 levels of attachment. Now you're going to let me know if it's really the one. Because if you're game for it, then that's the class. And if not, we'll find something else. But plan is to start this class the end of September. And is there any interest in taking a class this fall to winter? Anybody? Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Ooh! I know sometimes schedules don't work out, but I'd really appreciate you sharing your interest. Thank you. More will be revealed.
Yes.
Wow. Anybody else have an? Hey, Judy, come on up.
Good morning.
Good morning, Gina.
I spoke with Sandy West this morning, and we discussed having a meditation group here, and it would be possibly Tuesdays in the evening, from 3 to 4 afternoons. And if you're interested, let me know. I'll get a sign-up sheet going, and I'll get a flyer. But I think meditation is another aspect of what helps us reconnect to that level of our higher self that's continually residing within us, and we're continually seeking to experience that connection. And some people call it a bliss state. And we don't live in that bliss state. We visit it. So let me know. Thank you.
And thank you, Judy. Barney.
Tonight I'm going to go over to San Francisco, which is, I'm an LA boy, so going to San Francisco is kind of a strange new world for me sometimes. But Elon Musk has sponsored a thing called the X Prize, which is $100 million that he's donated to support technology that removes CO2 from the atmosphere. And I'm working with this gentleman, Wilson Hago, PhD, and he has developed a beautiful technology that uses natural systems to suck CO2 out of the atmosphere and make this thing called biochar, put it in the soil. And so we're going over there for it's a nine session course, and we're actually in the running for the big prize. And I think we have a chance of getting it, but more importantly than that, winning or losing that prize is not really important. What it is that we all win if we all endeavor to continue to try to nurture this planet. And I know Judy has a friend over in Mariposa, Tom Hobby, that has a company called Yosemite Green, to do the same thing in a different way than what we do. And I just wish him the best, and so many other folks that are on this journey to just kind of help out. And I don't know, today I just feel like anything I'm doing is kind of insignificant in a way. I'm just feel like that, a channel in a sense. But I know that I'm going to go to that seminar and I'm going to be carrying folks like Maggie Bell, Jane Dyer, and Dan Blodgett, and their energy with me. And that is sacred to me. It's so important. So I don't know, put in a good thought for the planet, and hopefully I won't say anything too ridiculously silly at this seminar, but I will be me, carrying all of your experience with me. So that's all. Thanks.
Great.
Wow, there's so many things going on. Anybody else have an announcement to make? Brian, come on up.
All right, last week I got to do this. This Saturday is also going to be the Oakhurst Music Festival. It's going to be a big music festival at the community center from noon to 10 p.m. A lot of great bands are going to be playing. On the outdoor stage, indoor stage, there's going to be vendors inside the community center, open mic style. So if you know any musicians that want to play, the inside stage is going to be open to anybody that wants to go up there and play. Come after the drum circle. It'll be amazing. And it's a fundraiser for our new teen center we're trying to get together for town. This is all sponsored by my club that used to be the old Boys and Girls Club. So hope to see you guys all out there. And my friend Jesse has joined us on Zoom today. I know a lot of you guys have prayed for him in his fight for cancer. Just got some really, really good news a couple days ago. So everything's going great, and continue prayers for him. And yep, thank you.
Yeah.
All right.
Great news. Oh, I thought you were putting your hand up for some other reason.
Oh, no.
Anyone else? That's great news. I mean, all of this is wonderful news. What else is there? Is anybody else out there that wants to say anything? Has an announcement?
I do. I want to say one more thing. Let's all go to Oakhurst. It's supporting
I'm going to
our
go after
teens and our
the
children.
drum
It's
circle.
going to be a great event, really.
I'm going to go after the drum circle for sure. So
It'll be better
I plan
just
to do
at
that.
you.
You know, there's so many things. Anyway, that's wonderful news. I think we're going to have some more fun now with, I'm just going to announce this too. The prayer partner this week is LJ or LaLonde Bull. So you can meet up with her either in the meditation room and she can have a private session with her, or you can come to any of the ministers if she is busy and you need to talk to someone. If not, you can also fill out a little piece of paper, a request, and put it in the frog box, and that's for prayer, and we'll all pray for it on it, put some good juju and energy that way. So just so you know you have that. And next week's speaker. It's me, what a surprise. I usually announce myself. So I will be your speaker next week. I think we're going to have some more music, though, are we? Going to have some more music? That would be terrific. Okay, and then we'll do the prayer of protection. I don't know if I'm doing that out of place, but
Well, I like when I'm choosing what I'm going to play, I like to think about the themes. And this next song, the only thing I can really say regarding time is it's very old.
That works.
I'm going to be playing an Irish whistle. This is a very old Irish song. It was thought to have been written before 1880, and it's a lovely little song. And seeing some bare feet here today, I'm going to share something. A lyric in this song that really grabbed me when I first read it was, she looked so neat from her 2 bare feet to the sheen of her nut brown hair. And it just, it's timely into what's beautiful and what, this young man was infatuated with this woman and noticed her 2 bare feet as what really, and her sheen of her nut brown hair. So the song is Star of County Down, and hope you like it.
Protection. You want to join with me? The light of God surrounds me. The love of God enfolds me. The power of God protects me. The presence of God watches over me. The energy of God is me. Wherever I am, God is, and all is well. Thank you. I guess we'll ask Sandy to now come up and do our closing prayer. Reverend Sandy.
Another great day. Thank you, everyone. Bob, you're getting so easy to understand. I love it. when he first was talking, Angie and I'd go to the back and I'd go, did can you explain it to me? And he says, no. But now we can actually talk about it, so thank you. So just close your eyes and know that we are all one. As we sit here and laugh and listen and learn, life is good. And it's getting better and better in every way. Allow yourself to feel that. Allow yourself to know that. And go out today and make a difference in the world by being the best you can be. Give gratitude and blessings everywhere you go. And say with me, please.
And
so it is.
Thank you, Sandy. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Have a great week, and we want to see you back here next week. And don't forget all those wonderful things that are happening this Saturday and this week.